Councillor Tomás Sharky. Tomás is a member of the Louth County Council and is the Sinn Féin's EU candidate in the European election.
It seems that every time I stand near a microphone it starts to rain, but how and ever. As Republicans here, we're gathering to commemorate the 1916 Rising and all of those people who fought then and ever since then for an independent Irish Republic. We're also marking the 90th anniversary of the first Dáil, which resulted directly from the efforts of those who fought in 1916 and also in the Tan War of 1919 to 21. This year, we as Republicans are still committed to the ideals of the 1916 proclamation and to the objectives of the Irish independence, national unity and the social equality proclaimed by the first Dáil. That was the first and the only freely elected parliament of all of the Irish people. This year also marks the 100th anniversary of the founding of the Fianna Éireann by Constance Markievicz and Bulmer Hobson. The Fianna Éireann became a nationwide organisation with thousands of members throughout the whole island. It played a crucial role in historic events such as the formation of the Volunteers, the Houghton Kilcool gun running operations. It was involved in the 1916 Rising and the Tan War, and in subsequent phases of Republican struggle, Fianna members paid the ultimate sacrifice in the cause for Irish freedom. Na Fianna used the battle cry, Glinnear Grihe, Njartan ar Ngeg, agus Bart ar Air Mriher. That meant purity in our hearts, strength in our limbs, and truth to our words. We as Irish Republicans carry with pride that call still today. The struggle for the united and independent Ireland that we all want, it's passed through many phases since 1916. And this year Sinn Féin continues pursuing a strategy to achieve Irish unity and to establish a republic in this island that's worthy of the name. A republic that we can all be proud of. Republicans created the opportunities by being strategic, focused, and also by being disciplined. That same focus is now required in the current phase of our struggle. Because all down the years, we as Republicans have seen different phases. We've seen mass mobilisation, popular resistance, military campaigns, setbacks, advances, tragedies and victories. We've seen internment and censorship, and we've faced death squads armed and directed by the British state. We've seen electoral gains and parliamentary engagement. This phase of parliamentary engagement can often be frustrating and difficult, but it has to be done. The people of Ireland need it to be done. We in Sinn Féin are the voices of our communities. We lead, we care, we work and we campaign for all of the people. Less than a year ago the people said no to the Lisbon Treaty. The government has decided to close down democracy. They've decided to refuse to accept the will of the Irish people. And last week they announced the death of the National Forum on Europe. This government is a small step from a totalitarian idea that it's easier to dissolve the people and to elect another. We need to dissolve the government and elect another. The most pressing concern for Irish citizens right now is the economic situation in our country. There are 9,500 people unemployed here in County Meath today. That's more than double of what it was this day last year. This government persists with a strategy that exclusively focuses on cutbacks, when what they need to do is stimulate the economy, hold on to the jobs that are still there, and to create more jobs. The elderly and the sick are left with no care, so that bankers and regulars of tents can go free. Children go to schools that are run down, so that developers can go free. It's said of the old Pinochet regime that people were in prison so that prices could be free. In Ireland today, people are suffering so that capitalists can be fat, and that must end. Sinn Féin has a vision for the future, and we have detailed policies. We believe that we can get ourselves out of this economic difficulty. We recently launched our documents about job retention and job creation, and we also have our proposals in relation to public finances. They point to a better, a fairer way forward. School building projects can create jobs, they can strengthen future generations. We can care properly for our elderly and our sick, and that will be cheaper than giving tax breaks to private hospitals. But it's not good enough to replace a Fianna Fáil coalition with a Fine Gael-led coalition. There would be no difference, because the golden rule of right-wing economics is that those with the gold make the rules, and that's not good enough for the people of Ireland. Jim Larkin lit a fire that blazed in 1913, and he forged a struggle of the Great Lockout, a trade union movement that grew from strength to strength. James Connolly led the vanguard of that movement with the Irish Citizens' Army, which played a pivotal role in 1916 Rising. Organised Labour defeated conscription in the general strike of 1918, and the ideals of Connolly were enshrined in the democratic programme that was adopted by the first Dáil. A Dáil that the right-wing parties in the South nearly forgot this year, but they have definitely betrayed it. Ever since then, the most progressive sections of Republican and trade union movements have always acted together on James Connolly's words that the cause of Ireland is the cause of Labour, and the cause of Labour is the cause of Ireland. There has never been a time when we need to work closer. Labour and Republican movements need to work hand in hand to make sure that the Irish people get what they deserve, that the Irish people can realise the objectives of the proclamation. The good times of the last few years have made bad policies, and that is true in Ireland. We in Sinn Féin want to forge a new alliance for change in Ireland. We want to offer a credible alternative for the Irish voters. And that is why the next 8 to 9 weeks will probably be the busiest weeks in some of our lives here today. Travelling from County Louth, I travelled through Ferguson country. I'm now in Gallagher country, but it is all, I'm told, Joe Riley's country. And we hope that on the 6th of June that County Meath will also belong to Sinead Burke and Antoinette, but that we can proudly, as Sinn Féin elected reps, call it the People's County, where politics work on behalf of the people. We're in a phase of nation building. Republicans are engaged in what Connolly called the reconquest of Ireland by the Irish people. Now that requires strength. And Easter time, this time of the calendar, even before Christianity, was recognised by the human psyche as a time of reorganising, regrowth, regeneration. So this Easter in 2009, let us all leave this graveyard committed to reorganising, regrowing, regrouping, rebuilding, and after the elections of 2009, we will be a stronger party than we have been for many, many years. Akarja, taka misna kela, every misna kela, agus bu misna kela. Gurmila moyog of Galer.
Tomás. Just remember that Tomás is our candidate in the European election on the 5th of June to make every effort to get him elected to Europe. There's very little for me to do, just to thank everybody who participated here, particularly